based on the glaciers. So my supervisor definitely will talk on detail, but the theme which we selected for our this one day seminar, that is known as protecting mountain flora and integrating biodiversity conservation with sustainable development. So mountains known as a global biodiversity hotspots. Why these are known as a hotspots? Because they have high elevation, they have you can say top story areas where plants can easily make their own life, and these are somewhat inaccessible, not tapped by most of the people. So that's why they are naturally growing in such areas. And mountains are living ecosystems. They are regulating our climate. They are a cradle of biodiversity, and it is also reported in literature that 50% of the floral biodiversity, not only floral but all biodiversities, are existing in our mountain regions. And mountains are known as contributing 27% of the total our Earth's surface. So most biological rich these areas are, but they are very fragile environment on the planet, because if destroy these areas, definitely there is no replacing these resources. So mountains are also known as the engines of global biodiversity. Like they are making different kinds of habitats, from lush green foothills forest, then alpine meadows, subalpines and alpine pastures are some of the unique features, or you can say geomorphic features, which are making their own habitats. Because of variation in temperature, humidity, soil and sunlight, they are creating different microhabitats within the small you can say spaces within that. So they have unique features in certain areas if there is a fluctuations in these parameters. And it is reported that these are centers of endemism. Most of the endemic even flora, especially if we talk about the Karakoram, Hindu Kush and Himalayas, these are known as a hotspot area of floral biodiversity, especially when we talk about Pakistan. And it is reported that we have so far recorded about 500 different endemic plants which are only lying in these mountain regions. And they have unique genetic resources. These are essential for playing their role for making or for utilizing them as a crop when we will domesticate. For instance, we have triticum species. So triticum aestivum is we know that we are utilizing it as a bread wheat. But we have triticum other wild species which are present in such areas, and even we have different species of fruits which are also existing in such areas. We can domesticate them. So these are unique features for utilizing them for making different kind of crops. And they are a resource of medicine as well as livelihood of the people. When we talk about livelihood, most of the mountains, these are known as rangelands. When we talk about rangelands, we are talking about the pastureland areas. Like livestock keeping is majorly a source of living for these people who are living in mountain regions. Especially if we talk about tribe mostly found in Kashmir area and upper regions, that is known as a Bakarwal. So Bakarwal, they are keeping herds of goats and sheep, and they normally used used to visit such areas for feeding their livestock. So it means the major source of mountains are keeping you can say herding or livestock keeping. So in that case, we know that if we are unable to convert such areas as an agriculture land, so pasture is provided for living of the our domesticated animals. And even medicinal plants, if we talk about medicinal plants, there are 3 or 4 major plants which are mostly utilized by the local communities, especially if we talk about the Sasutia costus, or that is locally known as a food. So it is known as a antibiotic, you can say, natural or phyto antibiotic, mostly used for treating majority of the diseases of the local communities. Even in such areas, we have Morgella esculenta, that is known as a gucci. So these are highly prized medicinal plants are existing in such areas. Sometimes I tell my student that diversity exists either on the lowland areas or very upland areas. The reason is in both to cut down, however, people are still utilizing them. And fortunately, we have a forester, Dr. Mahmood Nasir Saab. He will tell about the whole story about what situation is nowadays for our forest. And these are alpine forests which are mostly located in Chitral, Tishkiri, biodiverse. So steep slopes, isolated valleys create natural biological islands that allowing species to evolve independently over millennium. Because these are somewhat inaccessible, so species are naturally growing in such areas, and fortunately these are known as the hardest part of the biodiversity. So because of climatic variations like altitude, especially altitudinal variations, स्टूडेंट में से कोई बताएगा कि पाकिस्तान को हम किस चीज़ में फॉल करते हैं, वेदर इट इज ट्रॉपिकल, सब ट्रॉपिकल, टेम्परेट, किस जोन में फॉल करता है पाकिस्तान? सब ट्रॉपिकल। हम फॉल कहाँ करते हैं? इक्वेटर में कहाँ फॉल करते हैं? We are near the equator, and फिर सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि the temperature should be very high in the country, और physically तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि we should not have glaciers. Glaciers कहाँ होते हैं ज़्यादातर वर्ल्ड में? नॉर्थ पोल पे नहीं होते। तो फिर पाकिस्तान तो इक्वेटर के करीब है, तो ये खुला मैदान नहीं, ये कैसे मुमकिन हुआ? Because of the elevation, high altitudes. We have elevational ranges right from 0 to over 10,000 meter elevations. So all these variations are giving a unique feature that almost we have all kind of ecological zones. Like we have ocean, we have deserts, we have plain areas, we have high upland areas, we have different lakes. So these features are hardly found in the world. So that's why these climatic variations within the short distance enabling both tropical and temperate species, they coexist together. अगर आप इस region पे बात करें तो ये जिस region में हम fall करते हैं, within that region there are submergence of 2 different climatic zones. तो वहाँ पर वो फ्लोरा आपको कहीं ना कहीं मिलता है. So because of limited human disturbance, like high altitude areas are physically inaccessible, functioning as a natural refuges for our wildlife, and long-term evolutionary stability, like mountain ranges are safe haven during glacial periods, enabling high species survival and diversification. So ecological importance of mountain species. Somewhat we have discussed, like we have glaciers, and these glaciers are sources of water. When these melt, we are getting water from all such resources. All our rivers are blessed because of these glaciers. So mountain flora and fauna support essential ecosystem functioning like water regulation. We are also getting benefit from plants through the pollination and seed dispersal. And these plants are providing the soil stabilization and erosion control. It will abruptly cut down the trees, as well as if we destroy our these landscape, what will be happen? There will be high infiltration as well as soil erosion. So if any area is having a stabilized nature of a species, so this process is getting stabilization of our soil and controlling the erosion. Then carbon sequestration in forest and grasslands, climate buffering across the altitudes. So it is also reported in literature that nearly 1 billion people are residing in all these mountains. So one can imagine that how these are important. If you visit right from Murray to even Kashmir and upper region, and if you have an opportunity to see the areas in night, you will see that how many people are living in that. On the other hand, in other side, there is less flow of water. In season में पानी बहुत कम हो जाता है या फिर पानी ज़्यादा आ जाता है. These are creating floods in our streams. Then soil erosion, drought, landslides. So all these are some of the sign marks of the climate change. So what is need? Like conserving my mountain biodiversity a global priority, and that's why such events are being organized throughout the world because of their importance. Now human being is under somewhat stress and feeling its importance. What are their global consequences? Like we should declare the protected areas and biosphere reserves, like expanding well-managed reserves, transboundary parks and wildlife corridors. Wherever we are looking at biodiversity hotspot, we should declare these areas for national conserve. Then community-centered conservation. There is a need to make aware of local communities, and also we should have a participatory approach with the local communities. And how this is a workable idea, because we have to give the awareness to local communities, like these resources are money for you people. If we provide the livelihood in such cases, definitely such kind of participation will ensure the conservation. एक चीज का हमें पता है कि ये 10 रुपए की हमें मिल रही है और एक पता नहीं है कि इसकी कोई वैल्यू है, तो हम एक यूजलेस चीज को हमेशा डिस्कार्ड कर देते हैं. अगर एक चीज की इंपॉर्टेंस रहेगी नहीं, वो चीज नापेद हो जाएगी. So it means we should make the community aware and we should participate with the local community. So empowering indigenous and local communities, they are frontline गार्डियंस, क्योंकि जाहिर है हम और आप वहाँ नहीं जा सकते, हम उनको अवेयर कर सकते हैं थ्रू एजुकेशन. लेकिन एक और मिसाल है कि मारखोर की मेरे ख्याल में जो ट्रॉफी हंटिंग होती है, बड़ी सक्सेस स्टोरी है अपर रीजन में, कि वो लोगों को बता देते हैं कि आप इसको केयर करें, 1 साल 2 साल इतने साल के बाद जब इसको ऑप्शन किया जाएगा तो वो पैसा हम आपको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे. So this is again community participation. Then sustainable development integration, like we should promote ecotourism, sustainable harvesting, mountain agriculture, and green jobs. Like in such areas, we should provide some opportunities. Then research and monitoring, like mountain ecosystem need continuous scientific study, especially under climate change. So what is the lesson learned or take home message is mountains are under pressure. They also hold the key to ecological resilience. Preserving their biodiversity is essential not only for the species that inhabit them, but also for the water, climate, livelihood, and culture of millions of people. Protecting mountain ecosystem is a protecting life itself, because if we want to really protect our environment, so we need to protect the mountain. So let us commit to safeguarding these majestic landscapes, ensuring that they continue to inspire, sustain, and nurture generation to come. Thank you very much.